Ruto does not respond reasonably, if Keter had done anything wrong, if Keter had committed any crime, there is a way to summon someone to the DCI or to arrest them humanely, in a dignified way, legally, by two policemen appearing at home and telling him that he's under arrest. I don't think that he would resist. But here he's being abducted on the streets, just like many Kenyans have been abducted and disappeared. Number two, he unilaterally purported to have withdrawn, quote unquote. I use quote unquote because the bill has not been withdrawn. He purports that he withdrew Finance Bill 2024 and that he sent it back to the House. The law does not allow him to do that. The law simply allows him to reject the bill with a memo back to the House on what it is that he thinks should be amended or not amended. But he cannot unilaterally withdraw the entire bill. He's not allowed to do that by law, so he's just claiming that he did that. But why did he wait until too late? Some of us, I, for example, since 2023, I told him to withdraw Finance Bill 2023. It's a matter of public record. I also told him to withdraw Finance Bill 2024 before it was presented to the House, before it was debated, before it was passed. Kenyans demanded, even on the day of rage on Thursday, when a few gallant youth stormed Parliament, they wanted Parliament not to preside over the passage of the bill. Ruto refused. Why did it take so many lives lost for him to purport, to reject, to sign the bill into law? And more importantly, Ruto, 2 days ago, signed the Appropriation Bill 2024 that authorizes him to spend billions, hundreds of billions of public money. The question is, what does Ruto care about? The money that he's supposed to spend and loot, or the taxes? Because he's still taxing under the Finance Bill 2023 anyway. The taxes as of today are excessive anyway. They are punitive anyway. And those taxes are continuing anyway. If you go anywhere else in Kenya today, you will be taxed. So nobody is saying the withdrawal or the refusal or the rejection of Finance Bill 2024 has solved anything. It hasn't. And then it has not stopped Ruto from spending the hundreds of billions. The illegal expenditures continue. The stealing continue. The ostentatious spending continue. The abductions continue. The extrajudicial killings continue, which means Ruto is telling Kenyans, go to hell. He's putting his middle finger and flashing it to Kenyans. The last point. Ruto then purports yesterday and unilaterally announced that he has constituted some consultation or consultative youth engagement without reference to the people, without reference to the grievances, without knowing or understanding or appreciating the fact that the demonstrations was a vote of no confidence on the street pursuant to section clause 1 of the Constitution against his regime. He's not contrite. He called the protesters criminals. He said the criminals had infiltrated and had done all manner of things. But it is Ruto's goons, the police, the killer squads that are not dressed in police uniform, killing people on the streets. So this is the context. We are saying Ruto is incorrigible. Ruto has become ungovernable and must be brought to account. And the people of Kenya have a right under clause 1 of the Constitution to bring him to account. They can do that on the street. They don't have to do that through parliament because parliament has been captured. Those suggesting that we go to court are missing the point completely. Law is an instrument of power, not the other way around. I studied law. Law serves the state. Law does not serve the citizens. The primary purpose of law is to serve the state. That is why the state enacts the laws. The citizens don't enact the laws. So, and the courts, the judges are employees of the state. The state pay them. The state protect them through weapons and muzzle men. And the state can threaten them, can intimidate them, can bribe them, and are doing that already. That is how come a judge ratified the illegal deployment of the military on the streets. We don't have martial law in Kenya. We don't have a military dictatorship in Kenya, or at least we should not have. But we have the military on the streets. Ironically, we have a deployment of 2,000 police officers in Haiti. They are saying we don't need them in Kenya, but we need them in Haiti. But in Kenya, we need the military on the roads. So what is the way forward? Ruto expects Kenyans to be confused, Kenyans to be divided, Kenyans and Gen Zs, particularly Gen Zs, to say this is our movement. Nobody should speak about this movement. Nobody should purport to be a leader. Nobody should give us direction. They want that because they know that the staying power of any unorganized group is maximum of 2 weeks. So they are waiting. They are waiting for them to infiltrate. They are waiting for them to buy a few of the patriots. They are waiting to compromise them. They are waiting to use to reach them through their parents. They are waiting to basically for them to die through attrition. They are also waiting for them to start being opportunistic and fighting against each other and making contradictory demands. They know that they have the NIS, they have the DCI, they have the military intelligence, they have the bureaucracy, they have the CIA, they have the intelligence of the British. They have all this institutional firepower against just discontented citizens. So they expect the discontented citizens to be confused. We cannot allow ourselves to be confused. And I say ourselves because this struggle does not belong to any generation. This is a struggle for all Kenyans. It cannot be a struggle for one generation. The problems we are facing affect all Kenyans. Overtaxation affects all Kenyans. Tyranny affects all Kenyans. Keter that they abducted today is not a Jay-Z, is not a Generation Z. So we know that he wants to divide us. So we cannot allow that. So our demands, in my respectful opinion, can only be one. Ruto and his entire regime must go.